Yeah, anyone coming, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when there's risk involved. I got guts, got a lot, I gotta risk it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the hype won't scare us falling. So rise up. I'm too great to be landed. Rise up. Way too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly by them like choppers. Better took those risks, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go, one out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another AFR broadcast. Today we're bringing you Tier 1 coming from Hungary, specifically the Hungaro ring for round 16, I believe. As usual, I am Kunai0, and with me is C Carrot.
Good evening, ladies and gents.
Alright, so we should be in for a cracker of a race. Of course, we did have the 100% first of the series yesterday, and so we saw a lot of great racing there, so hopefully we'll see some of that mirrored today as we have the drivers going out and preparing for their qualifying laps. Alright, so C-Carrot, what do we think? What are your thoughts on today's race?
Yeah, look, it's nice to get back into the usual flow of things after that 100%er. No, we're looking at the one-stop sort of stuff. Strategy seems to be the ideal situation again. Always look at the usual suspects, but I'm hoping a dark horse shows up.
Yes, definitely. We will see. All right, so we've got a couple of cars on the track right now. It looks like Revo is going on his lap. Setting up now. let's have a look here. So he's currently on, we're looking at 116. Comes across with a 117.3 on the hard compound. Gus behind
It's
him.
nice little banker, that one.
Yep, the 118.1 also on the hard compound. Only 3 drivers on the soft. And Potsy there out there on the medium. Ooh,
Yeah,
Gus
not
just
sure.
left the session. Not sure what happened there.
It's a shame. He's sure to be back, I'm sure. Not sure too much practice has been done for these guys today yet, so we might have a few warm-up laps just to get back into the groove of things. Big day of racing, of course.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully we should be in for a good one. Okay, so a couple more drivers are coming across the line there. Nut goes across with a 1 at 17.6 on the soft. Potsy with a 117.8. Wahid with a 118. Gus Rules with a... Sorry, he was still there. Sax has got a 118.5. And 119.3 from Apollo. And it looks like Apollo was just going around the first turn there and went off just a little bit. For those who aren't... Oh, we've got another yellow flag too. Sector 2 looks like the Mercedes of Pacey. The Alpha, no. Actually, it could be Saxa out there. Yeah, he was the one that slowed down. Now we've got the Toro Rosso that's going through there as well.
Yeah, we've got Potsy in the wall, which I think is causing a few issues.
So this is the first broadcast that we have that will be powered by some telemetry. So we have some data at our disposal. Seacarrot's going to be the one that's going to be monitoring that a lot more closely, but hopefully it will help us give you more accurate data as the race unfolds, and we'll see how we can apply that.
Yeah, that's the aim. Just stay ahead of the battles before they happen, and hopefully it helps us see things and predict things a little bit better, so we're not so reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the aim anyway.
Gus is now back in. That's good. So a couple more drivers have gone past this early stages of the race. So Pacey sits at 119.7 on the hard compound. Greeny with a 119.3. Bandcamp there with a 119.2. So of course these are just bankers. The fast ones are still yet to come out. Jump on board with Gus as he goes around. Ready to start his... Oh, and an Alfa Romeo seems to be in the wall.
Yeah, a few guys struggling to get those hards going for them in this early stage. Bull and Rocky having an excursion in the dirt.
All right. So 11 minutes 30 to go in the qualifying session. Just on there with Gus as he comes around to prep. And we'll jump on board with him for a flying lap. He preps himself to come around that last corner, turn 14. And here we go. So up through the gears as he crosses the line to start off his lap. So will he make it into 8th? No, Holton in 7th, 312 kilometers an hour as he hits down through the gears. Comes around turn 1. A little bit of a wobble there. Has some traffic, gets by it, not a problem. Probably shift down into 3rd as he comes around. Holds his speed. Gets that traction up on there. Then uses the curb. Hits the outside curb as well. Coming into the tight left-hander. Sometimes you shift down twice or once. Has once. Uses all the curb, but he slides out and hits the wall. And now he's got wing damage as well. So that's going to cause a bit of a slide. And that is the danger when coming around turn 4 like that. Is if you use too much curb, you do tend to carry the weight when the load gets back down on the car, and you end up flying off into the wall, as was evident. And unfortunately, that's caused Gus to get some damage there. Okay, so he'll have to go and pit and fix it up. Try and jump on board with Revo as he's coming to the end of his outlap now.
Yeah, a little bit of a shaky start for a few of these guys. Still finding a rhythm.
Right, so Revo now on his flying lap as he moves down into turn 1. Out through there into DRS. Punches it up through the gears as he makes his way down into turn 2. Down in, does he go? Oh, goes down into second. Short shifts up twice. That way doesn't have any form of traction loss as he comes up into turn 4. Let's see how he navigates this. Shifts down once, manages to hold it nice and steady there. Probably comes down into 4th. Short shifts up. It's interesting how Revo does this because he tries to do it in a way where he minimizes the amount of traction loss, which is good. It's obviously what you want. As Seb leaves the session now. Okay, so Revo currently through his sector 2. Harsh downshift, but he keeps it on the track. And he's up on his time by 3/10. Probably seeing a cracker of a lap from him. Still on the hard compound. Makes his way around turn 13. Holds it. A little bit of a lock up there, but nothing you can't handle. It's a DRS and towards the line. Hits it across with a 1:17.05. So, keeps provisional pole as usual.
Yeah, not a bad start for him at all. For a nice little banker lap to get the juices flowing.
That's a good drive from him. We'll see if he decides to set it up on a different type of compound. Matt's now on his outlap as well. So right now we have 5 cars on track. As Revo's probably coming back in to analyze, see how he wants to go out. Looks like Toro Rosso's coming out of the pits now as well, so that's probably going to be Wahid.
Doesn't look like we've got any car audio coming out of the stream, Kuno. Look at that.
No car audio.
Yeah, no car audio.
Oh man, what does this game want from me?
You can hear our lovely voices, but getting reports of no car. Of course, we all love hearing these turbo engines.
What about... Nah, there we
Plugging
go.
it.
Nah, it should be now. Man, why? Why? What is up with that? I don't know what's up with that. Okay, we should be able to... You should have car sounds now. I don't know why it does that.
I think they do it just to keep us on our toes. Wouldn't it be a shame if we had a relaxing evening?
Yeah, it's something, I don't know, F1 sometimes, it times out on the stream side of things, and I have to like pause it and unpause it. It's weird. I'll have to try and crack down onto it. Okay, so on board with Wahid as he comes across the line now to set up his flying lap on the medium compound. We'll see how well he can attempt that. Ooh, harsh down through the gears as he makes his way into turn 1. DRS on. Here we go.
Apparently still no car sound. Chat's blowing up about it.
No car sound.
It might just be a volume thing. I think it's there very faintly. It might just need to... Sure.
It's there on the mixer, so there is sound definitely coming through. But these guys are saying there's no sound Okay, I'll have to have a look at it. We'll see what we got.
Technical difficulties. While we enter the last 4 minutes of the session, still Potty sitting up there. First guy to set a lap on the softs. Looks like Moscow's going to stick with the mediums here. Stretch just the one stop. Potty likes to go against the grain. It's gone okay for him so far. If he can bring that form he took in the 100% race to this one, he'll be in a good stead. But of course, that's easier said than done. Pacey sets a solid time. Him in fourth with that 117 flat. He'll be looking for a little bit more. Might feel a little bit out of position at the moment. Of course, up against guys on soft tyres. Never an easy ask.
Yeah, I cannot figure out why there's no sound.
Yeah, I cannot figure.
Like, it's the sound is coming through the mixer.
Kunai is sitting in the shadow realm at the moment. It's nice and silent for me too. Obviously trying to work something out. As we come across for the end of the session, looks like this is what we're going to be left with. Revo sits pole at the moment. Potsy in second. Seb in third. Wahid is done for the day in fourth. Still got a couple of guys coming around for their final laps. We'll look for improvement. Gus Rules is on a flyer. He'll want to fly up the field.
All right. Okay. Whatever the hell that was. All right. So everyone's out on their formation lap. Can you guys in the stream hear me now? Alright, cool. I have no idea why, but that was weird because there was sound going to the mixer. So I've got nothing on that one, I'll be honest. Alright, so
Yeah, we'll move on. But qualifying has been set now.
So that was a terrible qualifying section from us, but that's okay. Hopefully we can redeem it for the race. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Not sure what was going on. Sound was going in there, but hopefully you can hear me and Seacar just fine now. So
Yeah, and it's before it all kicks off, so nothing to worry about as they go around for their formation lap.
the cars aren't too loud either.
What's your prediction for this one, Kuno? Got a couple of cars out of position and looks.
Not sure. I expect Riva to do a solid performance, obviously. He's going to, as usual, drive it pretty hard. But, yeah, I'm looking to see another strong performance from Potsy as well. He did really, really well in his past couple of events, so we'll see how everything tracks up from there.
Yeah, really impressed in that 100%. Got Pacey slightly out of, probably not too happy sitting in 5th, but we'll be looking ahead. Get ready to go.
Alright, so just waiting for the lights to kick off. This is great. There we go. Okay, so 5 lights are out, and away we go as we all move down towards the first turn. Everything seems pretty good so far as Riva makes his way up in there. There's a couple of position changes happening already. The McLaren side by side, they're not too bad. Toro Rosso, and there's already contact between Riva and Wahid. Seb manages to make it through all the carnage.
Yeah, a couple of guys at the back there putting a foot out in the grass, but I don't think there's any carbon left behind. I think we're all still intact. Good to see.
Okay, so the majority of the grid making their way through now. Everybody seems to be okay. The gaps are really, really close. Greeny manages to drop down. Bull and Rocky takes the position there. So Rebo's going to try and clamber that position back from Seb as Pacey's trying to make it up to his teammate now.
Yeah, Potsy and Lotus, the big losers off the start, both fell back.
Oh, and there's looks like Sachs has gone down. Actually, it was one of the Renaults. Which one is it there?
Both still moving for me.
Pepsi maybe went up to the side there.
Yeah, Popsy's fallen way back at the rear end. He's lost an end plate on that left side. He'll be slow. Not a good start for him. What a shame. Perennial dark horse.
So Apollo down at the back. He'll have to try and make up that 1.2 gap behind the Toro Rosso of Lotus. Ooh, one of those just goes wide past. Seb sets the fastest lap with the 125.8 as we come into lap 2. So Apollo Pepsi in the pits. Looks like he has damage.
Oh, no. Gets hit that 5-second pen for speeding. Yeah, I hate to see it.
So Wahid getting really close. The senior team, Toro Rosso versus Red Bull. Not bad. Lotus makes up the position in the back against Greeny.
Yeah, Pacey leads with that start. We've got our normal top 3 back in running order. So look to build a gap. Hopefully Matsoid can keep it close as he puts a rear out on the grass and does well to hold it.
Okay, so have a look here. Lap 2 intervals. Everyone seems to be pretty tight so far. Pacey with a 1 second gap behind Revo, and Apollo Pepsi, of course, having that incident, so he's way back down in 15th. All those other gaps are pretty manageable. Pretty tight knit now from 5th to 8th. Everyone within 0.3 of each other. Back down with Nut as he's trying to get up on the back of Gus Rules. Ooh, Gus Rules having to wrestle steering a little bit there. Potsy at the back of him as well, and he's making moves right up on the inside as they come into turn 1. And he manages to make it work. Ooh, does he keep it though? Nut having a decent line on the outside there, so as they come around, Nut's in front. Good job there from the McLaren.
Oh, slight brake check there on the Haas, but yeah, really well defended that. Well held, he's been long from the band. These two guys are top guys on the softs at the moment. 7th and 8th, so I don't think they'll get them working to their advantage just yet. They want to try and make up some pace, but they'll be left on the lurch soon.
Oh my god! Nut took a massive cut there on the inside.
Yes.
Definitely shook him up in the car. Push out all the performance out of these cars. You can tell they're going really, really wide up on some of these curbs. They use all of the track.
Looking for a good move up on Saxo. I can see something happen on this home straight. He's sniffing in the diffuser.
On board. See what he can do. Red Bull coming up onto the back of that Alfa Romeo as they come onto the straight. DRS has been enabled, so he's going to have it. Saxo will not. As he comes down the line. And Potts and Nutt are trading places as well. It looks like Combine makes the pass. Into turn 1, away clean.
Oh, Saxo just held. A little bit of a drift for Saxo there on the exit in that dirty air, but he held it. So now he has to give Bandcamp right up his cracker.
Potsy's taken 7th away from Nutt, so it'll be up to him to try and clamber that back. We'll look at some of these gaps right here. Let's look at the Toro Rosso at the back. Matt Zoid has gone off. There on the side. Has to be careful how he rejoins. Ooh, almost took out his teammate.
It'll be the first time today. He's a little bit slow at the moment. Tyres a bit cooked. Got a hungry train sitting behind him that will want to pounce.
Gaps now at the back here are pretty intense. 0.1 between Lotus and Greenie. Lotus having a peek. Oh, Greenie gets way too close, so he's got to go on the outside to dodge. Right, so right now, Seb still in the lead at lap 5. Revo right on his heels, though. 0.2 the gap there. And everyone else clambering around to make their grid positions. The whole back of this grid have DRS enabled. Bandcamp tries to make a peak. Can't quite get the time, though.
Keep an eye on Bull and Rocky, our lone outlier out there on the hards. Well, Apollo put them on after his pit stop early on, but making up good time there on Nutt. He's on the softs. His hards are working well.
Okay. So far, got ourselves a really good midfield here. Decent gaps here. So Potsy's put himself 2 seconds ahead of Nutt after that battle, and Potsy's also getting closer and closer to Gus, who's doing the same to Wahid as Combined overtakes Bull and Rocky.
Yeah,
so
we had Bull and Rocky have a spin coming out of that corner.
Way down, loses so many positions. Nice little train happening here from 10th to 13th. As Revo tries to go up on the outside of Seb, but he goes out a little bit too wide.
You have to wake up pretty early to pull that move on Seb.
He is pushing though. This Bandcamp gets very, very close to the back of that Alfa Romeo. He can't quite pull it off.
Most importantly, they're both building a solid little gap back to Pacey, 2.5 seconds back.
Bandcamp does make the move there on the Alfa as well, so he gets 10th position away from him. You can see Revo trying to pull as much as he can. Both in the same tyre. But of course, Revo's tyres are going to dig harder, having to fight at the back.
Yeah, that's one thing to keep an eye on, of course. These guys are really going to be pushing for the one stop. Generally, so much faster, but pushing and shoving and fighting.
Revo goes right up on the outside there, but that means Seb has the inside 4 turn. Side by side now as they come down into turn 2, which will give Revo the inside line. But he might have to bleed off speed as he goes really close, still wheel to wheel as they come out. Seb right at just a bit ahead.
Ooh.
Revo having to go off the track.
You have to leave it a space.
Oh. Only lap 7, and they're fighting like it's the end. Good for us. They've got to make sure they hold on because they've got to make these last. So Seb doing a great job to defend right now. And Pacey probably going to capitalise on all the fighting as he's inching closer and closer as well. Potsy dropping down 2 positions there.
Potsy had a spin and an off. He's gone ghost mode. Looking for the safe re-entry. It's not going to happen for him, so he's going to drop back to 3rd last. What a shame. He's got great pace as those rears are cooked and he has a spin again. Trying to re-enter the racing line. That'll invite Nut, who will go past him.
So back on board with Revo coming into the start of lap 8. He's got the DRS and he's got a decent amount of ERS in the bank. It's coming ever closer to turn 1. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He tries to go up on the outside, but it's just going to be a repeat of the last lap as Seb still holds on. Revo trying to clamber up as much speed as he can with DRS before it turns off. And he's up on the inside of turn 2. But is it going to be enough?
Doing donuts in the final sector.
Oh, there's a massive bloody clash there. They're still side by side. But Seb's going to have to get forced off because of the tight left corner. So Revo's won that. And that puts Seb on the back foot. And Pacey gaining up during all of this. Went from 2.5 to 1.8.
Yeah, Pacey's seen blood in the water, but he almost put it in the wall on that last corner. Big power slide out wide. His tyres are cooking, I think. These guys are all struggling a little bit with grip. Slide around the track.
Hungaroring compared to some drivers as more of a go-kart track for the F1 calendar, so high downforce, a lot of fast corners, which does put a lot of wear on the tyres. So you do have to take care of them, especially when you're looking at 35 laps.
Yeah, like just through that final corner, Seb's front left was up to 120 degrees as Nut leaves the session. He's seen enough. So that high temp leads to high tyre deg and also slippery cars, especially following close. Very easy putting the wall or in the gravel.
So Seb wasn't able to close the gap to Revo like Revo did to him, so he's going to have to fall in line a bit more, but he's still holding on down under that 5 second, and because of the lack of battle, Pacey's dropped back down to 2.2. So that's something's going on with him. Not sure if he's just trying to conserve or whether or not he is just lacking pace. We will see as the race hands on. Bogus in the pits right now is
Dives in for hards. Trying right at the end with those, but that'll be in shocking state come the end.
Matto getting ever closer to his teammate there. 2 Red Bulls. They pan as they're coming through the second sector now.
We have Saxa having to spin out the grass as well. And Greeny slowed right down in front of him. Looks like to let him pass, so a little bit of an incident between those two, most likely. Just a bit of a reshuffling down at the back.
With Matt already, so he's got DRS on his teammate. Will he go for the overtake? On the outside of turn 1. Maybe he goes for the switch back onto the inside. Oh, there's contact on the 2 tyres! Not something you want to see from 2 teammates. It's nice to see the competitiveness, but not so much when cars are at stake.
Not traditional teammates at course. I think combined usually sit in the Alpha. I think, isn't it? Yeah. Something red. Anyway.
Didn't Combine drive the Haas?
Yeah, Haas maybe. It must have been Haas.
Yeah.
So yeah. Still getting up to speed with the old teammate status.
Mm-hmm.
As Revo picked up a 3-second penalty. as well, which we'll keep an eye on because that could matter big time come in.
It's weird, I'm not getting any of the penalties come up on my screen. Oh, so Combined goes out way wide, which has given Matto the advantage as he comes into the next turn. And it's had to cause Combined to slot up in place. Which will mean that Combined will have DRS coming into the next two sections.
Hard though, right up there in ERS.
What a defensive move, but he's going to try and go up on the outside, as we see so often now. They're really, really close together. Ooh, and there we go. So it still takes that position. Combined tries to go up it again as they come through turn 2. He's neither of them letting up.
No. They're only hurting their chances. They're falling way back off Wahid.
Wahid gets closer to Gus as well. So right now, lap 11, Revo is your race leader. Seb is 1 second behind him. His teammate Pacey 2.8 seconds behind him, and Gus Rules is 11 seconds behind the Mercedes. Right now, we're looking at a racing point on pole. Mercedes 2 and 3.
Racing Point's got a 3-second pen though, keep in mind as well. Only one in the field so far to have a penalty. But importantly, Seb is outside of that DRS zone to Revo, so Revo has a chance to build a gap here if he's good enough.
Wind tries to come down that main straight. The wing open. Let's see. Going to fare any better? No, doesn't. Trying to go for the overtake on this one. Slots in. Still has a second DRS zone that he can use. 0.3 is the gap there. Looks like he's probably going to try and not fight as hard, just in case they accidentally off both of themselves. Ooh! Matt's using the curb and some. Through there. Lap 12 we are. Let's look at some of these intervals now. Wahid doing really, really close up towards Gus Rules, combined with the shortest gap so far on his teammate with 0.5. We've seen a lot of big gaps build up here at the back end of the grid. 9 seconds between Nut and Bull and Rocky. 14 seconds between Greeny and Lotus. And Sachs is 22 seconds behind him, so his off was a really punishing there. And Potsy, unfortunately, at the back. He's clambering back. He's only 1.2 behind Saxa, but considering he was up the top of the grid, it's got to hurt.
Poor old Potsy, he's got the 1 lap pace, but he hasn't been able to pull it together, which is a shame, but the pace is there, so time is there.
He tries to go up on the inside, but it's not going to work. Oh, but Matto goes way wide, and that gives Combined the position. So Matt's going to have to try and take it up on the inside. Will he? No. Falls back in line. Probably will just try and use the toe as much as possible.
Flirting with disaster. Absolutely flirting.
There's so much curve there, Matto, it is. Alright, so I'm going to have to take a break from there. Just jump on back at the end of the grid as Potsy's making his way through. Trying to overtake the Alfa Romeo of Saxa there in the back.
Seb dives into the pits, as does Revo. Both going on the hard tyre to go to the end from here. See how powerful this undercut is. Pacey was naturally half seconds behind.
Potsy's getting closer and closer to the back of this Alfa Romeo. 0.3 is the gap now, but now they're coming up to the technical part of the track. So we'll see if he can hold on to that gap. Potsy showing us an incredible drive in the past couple of events. We'll see if he can make it up to where. Where is the question. On the grid will he end up after his incident earlier? Hopefully we'll see him somewhere in the middle. Should be able to work his way through the grid. There's still a bunch of people that haven't pit yet. We'll see how that all comes about. Matzoid getting ever closer, but it seems like he's dropping off now. Revo's getting closer and closer to Wahid as well. On the hard compound.
Much fresher choose. Should be able to get it done.
He'll overtake Wahid. Now it's up to Seb to try and catch up. See a little bit of lag there.
He dives in. Seen enough. He knows his pace is shot.
There's the gearbox. Sure what's going on with that glitch there, but that's okay. Pacey goes into the pit, so does Wahid, Matzoid and Bandcamp.
Combined coming up with rate of knots on Pacey though. Cards turned on and get it going. See a few more pit overtakes. Gus combined, Bull and Rocky and Greeny to pit. Far.
So Gus currently in the lead. However, he still has his his pit stop to go. Revo just behind him with 0.6. Seb behind Revo with 0.7. And Pacey just coming off a fresh pit. He's 5 seconds behind his teammate Mercedes. Bull and Rocky in the other Alpha, 14.5 seconds behind the Red Bull of combined. Both he and Bull and Rocky have to pit.
Gus finally dives in.
That looks okay. So Ferrari is in now. So lead has been restored. The original grid order.
Seb sets a 1:19.9 on those hards to go our new fastest lap.
There we go. Okay. Alright, so lap 16 out of 35. Let's look at some of these intervals now. Apollo Pepsi 0.9 behind Nut, his teammate. Bandcamp 0.8 behind him. Seb is getting further and further away from Revo, so Revo is putting in quite a pretty decent lead. He's already got it up to 1.1, which will give the DRS, will take the DRS advantage away from Seb, so that's going to be harder and harder for him to try and catch up. Wahid 0.6 behind Bull and Rocky, so hopefully he'll be able to overtake him. He has much fresher tyres as well. And Potsy there in the back, trying to get past that Alfa Romeo of Saxa. Just somehow not being able to.
Yeah, Revo's just set 2 purple sectors, so he's suddenly turned those hard tyres on. He'll build a bit of a gap.
No DRS for Seb, and that's just going to allow Revo to get further and further away, as he's now increased the gap to 1.7. There's Bandcamp there, getting ever closer to the back of Apollo. Apollo must have made a small mistake. See what the Renault driver can do.
Brian finally jumps into the pit, see where he comes out relative to Matt. He's going to dive out side by side with Matt. This fight is going to go on again. Fighting through the first corner.
He's side by side as they come down into turn 3. Combined with the fresher tyres.
So it uses all of the track and a little bit more there. He loves dipping 2 toes off. Apollo picks up a 3-second penalty. Just our second of the race.
My game is all sorts of broken because it's telling me that every single person in the race is using hard tyres. And
Yeah.
Saxa retires, so there's an incident there from the Alpha, and Potsy's managed to make his way past.
You'd think it was broken if it wasn't true, but it is.
That's weird. Combined. Hold on a second. Those are yellow tyres.
No, they're right. Everyone on the field's on the hards.
So, just for everyone in the stream, they are yellow, right?
Here we go. It's blue dress, white dress again. No, it's they're definitely hards. Everyone's on hards. That's
Okay, so right. So I'm just getting a visual glitch because it's right now.
yeah, they look yellow on your stream.
Look, they're switching. They're actually changing to. That's great.
Mate, I don't know.
That's great. So,
Stewards might not need to look into that one.
Jesus Christ.
They're switching tyres mid corner.
Oh, okay. So, whatever the hell's going on there. Lap 19 of 35. Revo's still in front. Seb is 2.7 seconds behind. So Revo is getting away with this quite well. Pacey 5 seconds behind his teammate. And Gus Rules is 15.6 seconds behind the Mercedes. But we're looking to see if it stays as current as it is. We will have a racing point on the first place podium.
Well, not exactly. Let's not forget that 3-second penalty he's got.
That's right. Yeah, he does have a 3-second penalty. So, at
So
the rate
just
he's
needs to stay
going away
close.
there, at the rate he's going, Seb's going to be way past that 3 seconds. Combine tries ever harder to try and get past Matzoid. Nut manages to make the overtake on Bandcamp. And they're switching back and forth as they come down into turn 2. So close, but space has been given. Now up into turn 3. Bandcamp manages to get past. Nut taking a really wide line there.
You don't hear someone overtake Bandcamp very often in this stream, gents. And it didn't stick either. Surprise, surprise. He's back in front. Fight another day.
Bandcamp's just put in the gap now. It's 0.7. So the McLaren driver is slipping away. Have to try and push a little bit harder to try and make up that gap. Combine the closest gap now between his rival.
He's coming up on Bull and Rocky at a rate of knots as well. Much fresher tyres. Potsy picks up a 3-second penalty.
Combine's trying to make a move. Going to get up on the inside. I don't think so. He goes way out. He's going to try and go right up on the outside of the radius. Matzoid's definitely got the inside line, but this also means Combine has the inside line for turn 3, and he does it. Now he's in front, but he's just got to get himself into a decent position for the next turn. Ooh, and he goes ghost a little bit there. Polo comes into the pits.
Throws on a set of mediums. Bull and Rocket picks up a 3-second pen, which at the moment we're growing back to 7th. Close to.
Alright, so very large gaps have started to open. 4 people in the double digits. Potsy 35 seconds behind. So a pretty disastrous race for him. We'll see what he can salvage. Oh, and Potsy's retired from the session.
His miserable day finally gets its conclusion. As these Red Bulls continue to fight, another dive up the inside. We'll switch back again. This time Matt in the ascendancy.
Taking it up. He's going to move in trying to follow the Toro Rosso of Wahid. 1.6 seconds is the gap there. Wahid is closing. Oh, and it's and he slides, and they both contact each other. Matzoid.
Couldn't see that coming or not.
Oh no. So there's definitely wing damage on one of those. I believe it's combined that's copped the brunt of it.
Christian Horner has left the chat.
And it looks like Matzoid came up and just lost traction on the outside of the corner. The combine was way too close. Ended up breaking it. I do think Matzoid has an end plate missing, but I think Combine's got it much worse off. Yeah, he's also got... Actually, they've both got end plates missing, and they're deciding to stay out. No, Matzoid does come in. So Combine stays out. Matzoid pulls the pin.
Matzoid was a little bit worse. He was missing a couple of fins as well, I think.
Right, so absolutely nobody within the 1 second gap. The lowest, it seems, is 3 seconds, and that's at Bull and Rocky, who's just come down to 2.6. So, geez, we have such a wide gap now.
Yeah, our top three just proving in a slightly different level. Gus takes up the best of the rest.
Okay, so Matzoid rejoins just behind the Toro Rosso of Lotus, up on the medium tyre. So we should see him be able to rock past no problem. As now we have an update on the leader, it is 4.6 seconds ahead. Revo is just laying down tarmac, man. Champion, so even with that 3 second penalty, he is still well ahead. Basically 6.4 seconds behind Seb, which is unusual.
Making some phone calls in the chat, trying to get this track taken off the calendar. Certainly a contentious one. Not my favourite either, I have to say, but a few of these guys. You guys certainly enjoying his time out there today.
So coming up onto the back of Lotus. Goes up and down the pit lane. Sister team let the parent team go through. We'll have a look. And definitely go up on the inside, side by side now. Goes into turn 1. Yep, and Lotus just falls in line there. So Matzoid now looks at trying to get Bull and Rocky wrangled in. So lap 24 of 35. Have to have a look and see if we'll roll past the halfway mark now. Revo putting in 5.2 seconds now. There's a gap. Seb is losing.
Absolutely all over Bull and Rocky like dog on heat. The move's gonna happen. He's got the red mist happening. It'll be this final. Oh, runs terribly wide there. Coming onto the home straight, he saved up DRS, watching the switch on DRS and DRS, and he started flying all the RSs down this final. Gets straight. Drives up the inside.
Here we go. Manages to get it up there.
Bull and Rocky have an answer. Will he go for the switchback?
I don't think he'll be able to.
Ooh, Bull and Rocky's missing a massive chunk of that wing. I only just noticed. Missing the entire right side of it.
And that's going to cause Lotus to probably get the jump on him as well.
Certainly explains why he's running wide on every corner. He's a lame duck out there. He's pretty fresh tyre, so I'm not sure what incident he caught up in. But you'd would think from here he's going to have to get again and throw in a new wing because he's going nowhere but backwards.
10 laps to go and a lot can happen. Oh, and someone's gone off drifting at the back there. It's Apollo. Doesn't look like he's taking much damage. As Revo overtakes him.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
And that's going to cause them to also bring it up. So
Nut or Pepsi, I don't know which one's more Lando Norris, but both of them are terrible. Can't seem to put it all together. As Rocky gets the 5 seconds for speeding in pit lane on the way to pick up a new wing. When it rains, it pours. Throws on another set of the mediums. Go to the end. Fresh wing.
So nobody's gap now underneath that 1 second. Greeny is the closest. And Lotus 1.6. Revo's just making it away. 6.2 now the gap between him and Seb.
Hot take is Matt. Last lap was the fastest car on the track by a couple of tenths. So he's on the hunt. Massive 16-second buffer to Bandcamp. But
that's where he's left the session.
As I start saying he's got the pace, decides to get out of the car and let the AI do it for him. So we can jump back in quick before damage is done.
So will Greeny be able to catch Lotus? 8 laps to the 16 laps, got half the tyre wet.
Well, in terms of sector time, last lap he was 0.7 of a second faster. Jumps back. So he's on track to do it in 2 laps time. As long as his time's coming.
See Revo coming up on the back of Greeny now. But this is the part of the race where the leaders are going to have to start making their way through traffic. Hopefully it's no drama as they do so, but anything can happen.
Lotus, on the flip side, has a 3-second penalty hanging over his head. So he needs to build a gap.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that with those hard tyres. I mean, already at 17 laps.
I think his best bet would be hoping Apollo Pepsi can come up on Greeny and have a bit of a battle maybe. I think that's the best chance for Lotus to scoot off into the distance. Looks like Matt has fully taken control of his car again, just to see how much damage done.
16 seconds the gap between him and Bandcamp as we come into lap 28 rather, as Revo goes across the line there. Looks like permanent blue flags for Greeny. He will have to move out of the way sooner or later. The gap is still 6.5 between Revo and Seb.
Yeah, it's interesting. These gaps have all just sort of come out of nowhere. We had a few battles going on. Now it's space for days. It's like a test track session.
Yeah, so Greeny lets Revo past. Drama. That has allowed Apollo to sneak up.
Yeah, Apollo well over a second faster than Greeny the last lap. He's got the pace to do it. Fresher medium tyres. The old hards. Come on.
So, coming around the back section of the track now, with Greeny pulling over to let Revo through. Apollo Pepsi's managed to bring down the gap below that 1 second, so that's obviously going to give him DRS on the main straight. And then just after turn 1, so we'll see if he can do anything with it. 0.7 now the gap as they come into the final curve. Let's have a look. Boarded him into the DRS mode. 7th gear, he's trying to push everything out of the car now. Brings it down to 0.3. He's going to have the inside line. And it looks like the McLaren goes for it as well. Manages to get the overtake, but what will Greeny do? Because now he's side by side as they come down in the turn. And it looks like not. Yep. Greeny's...
Apollo runs wide.
There it is, yep. So Apollo goes in first. Greeny settles in behind him. 0.4 the gap there. Apollo, of course, on the medium tyre, so he's going to have way more speed. And that puts him in the 10th. Greeny now 0.5 behind, and Pepsi is catching Lotus at a pretty decent rate as well. He's now below the 1 second mark.
Yeah, pace-wise, he was a second faster than Lotus last lap as well. So, and Lotus had a terrible first sector, setting a 30-second first sector compared to Apollo's 28.2. Struggling to find grip on those almost 20-lap-old hearts now. Still 5 laps to go on him, and I think he's only going to go backwards from here.
Apollo Pepsi flying down the main straight, lap 30. Trying to catch up to that Toro Rosso. Had the DRS in the first section, had the DRS in the second section, but will he be able to make do with it? Coming to turn 2. And the gap down to 0.3. Looking ever closer. He's managed to put a 1.1 gap between him and Greeny. Apollo Pepsi's away with it. He's not going to be able to make any type of move here. I was about to say.
Really smart pull out there.
Let's try and go out wide, but that's not a great idea. You tend to lose a little bit of traction on that. Down in second. Keeps out there. Uses all the curb he can. Lotus is going to hold him up, but once they get to that main straight, Apollo will be up and away. Drive here from Apollo, putting his car in the places it wants to be. 5 laps to go. A little bit of a lock up there.
I'm just struggling to pull that car up at the moment. It's where he's losing most of his times and causing injuries. Rigo sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:19 flat. 17 lap old hearts.
Okay, so Apollo makes it all the way around into turn 1, and that's going to put Apollo Pepsi way in front. Greeny 1.3 behind Lotus, so we'll see if he can catch him. I don't think so, but good move by Apollo nonetheless. Now he is 10.9 seconds behind Matzoid, so I don't think he'll be catching him before the end of the race. And everyone else's times are just so large that I don't see any major moves happening. 4 laps to go. Seb is now 7.9 seconds behind Revo. Pacey 8.1 seconds behind him. Gus Rules is a whopping 20.2 seconds behind the Mercedes, and Wahid is 11 seconds behind him. So I mean, I think it's safe to say that's going to be your podium. Revo, Seb, and Pacey.
Yeah, don't put the knockers on too soon. There's still a few walls that can jump out and hit people. But yeah, it's turning into a bit of a test session. I normally thought we were racing in France.
So I'm just going to jump on board with Seb as he's going to try and make his way through the grid now. Just overtook Greeny there. So now he's going to have to go after Lotus. So 3 laps to go. Evo well ahead. I have to say, apart from the early sessions, it's been a fairly lackluster race. Only going according to plan, I guess.
Yeah, the guys, the usual suspects, found their way up pretty easily thanks to us getting themselves caught up in a few messes early on. Potty, probably our saddest story of the day. Good 1 lap off wide well. Just couldn't get the rhythm going. Lotus here is on track for a point, but he'll get it, given he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties over the car behind him. As Greeny decides to very messy indeed. Greeny will take the final point. Revo and Seb both have a 3-second penalty as well, so damp squib on the first and second battle. It's just a bit too far.
So lap 33 now as Seb's trying to make his way around Toro Rosso of Lotus. Lotus has to pull over soon, otherwise he might cop a 20-second penalty. That's how severe it is if you don't abide by the blue flag rules.
Yep. Lotus picks up a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flag.
Oh, 5 seconds. Okay.
And Pacey gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warning. So that well, truly settles our top 3 debate.
Lotus has to get out of the way. Yet he refuses to do so. Stewards might have to take a look into that because unfairly holding up someone else's race. I mean, he's not racing Seb. That's not the car he wants to be doing that to. There it is. Seb goes around. That might give Greeny a bit more of a bump.
Currently, Revo holds fastest lap, 1:19 flat. Is that just 2 laps ago? Ancient Hearts.
20 laps of wear on those hard tyres. As he's 7.9 seconds ahead of the guy behind. So it's an exceptional drive by Revo to put himself where he is. Him and Seb are sometimes so close in their racing, but when Revo wants to, man, he just puts his foot straight through the bloody bulkhead and leaves them all, man. It's great to watch.
Yeah, I think there's doubt fast by about 1 lap point. The settling into that rhythm and not making the silly mistakes that earlier in the season.
Revo now coming around that last corner to set up for lap 35. So here we are on the final lap. Revo in pole position. It looks like it will be his race to take. All he has to do is sort of keep it on the straight and narrow.
Combined 3-second penalty will throw him back behind Bandcamp in the stands, so that was a fortunate time to pick it up. Greeny looks like he might try for the move on track, Lotus. He's got it anyway. Certainly getting close. How's blood?
Get up onto the back of him, but 0.6. He's going to try and make it up before the end of the lap. Not sure if that's going to be possible. Revo be coming across the line pretty much now.
Final corner for Revo as he takes the checker and quality win. Made it look easy.
So Revo is your winner for Hungary. Seb will be in second behind him. Greeny tries, but won't be able to get the position there. So Apollo Pepsi crosses the line and this race is done. So is Lotus and Greeny. Lotus, of course, with the time penalties, which puts Greeny up into 10th and in the points. As Seb and Pacey both come across the line as well. So your podium will be the Racing Point of Revo. Seb in the Mercedes and Pacey, his teammate, alongside for your 1, 2 and 3. We've still got a couple of other drivers waiting to make their way around. Gus Rawls comes across for 4th for the Ferrari. Wahid behind him. Have to see how some of these penalties pan out.
Pretty nice quiet drive there for Gus. Picks up a good chunk of points. Kept himself out of trouble. Didn't really have the pace to challenge guys in front of him, but At the same time, build a big buffer for the guys. Lonely old Dave.
Combined goes across in 6th. Bandcamp comes across. We'll have a look at how the penalties will shape up. It's there, so 7th he takes. Alright, so a bit of a lackluster race, but a race nonetheless. As Revo takes the win. That'll get him some more points as he tries to chase up Pacey on the leaderboards.
Yeah, it's very close at the squeaky end of the table now. Try a blanket over our top 3. We're just past the halfway point of the season. Shaping up to be a good one. Anyone can win it from here.
See how it all comes across. Okay, so that's the end of the Hungary Grand Prix. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry about all the stream issues. We're going to have to try and iron them out and see what the hell's going on. And hopefully we can get them sorted by the time Tier 2 starts. And, yeah, 2 DNFs we had. So Ponzi and Tax are both DNF there. Quite a lot of time penalties. Bull and Rocket with 19 seconds of time penalties. My lord.
Yeah, he got hit with a couple of unserved ones right there at the end.
Wow. Alright, fair enough. Well, that has been Tier 1. I've been Kunai Zero. This has been Seacarrot. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.
Cheers, guys. Catch up.